Okay. So first question, what type of equipment do you use for the Bay Hope Church?
We talking lighting, audio, video,
Let's
or
do,
all of it?
we could talk, well, it's a big category there. We could just talk lighting and video.
Yeah, sure. Well, for lighting, we use several different types of light fixtures. We got intelligent lighting, several different brands: Chauvet, Blizzard, Martin light fixtures, and then some dummy light fixtures. So the intelligent light fixtures, those are your moving light fixtures. And then what I like to call dummy light fixtures, those are just, non-moving standard light fixtures. So our large front wash, so that way the subject's lit up on camera or for the people watching. So we got several different types of those fixtures. We also have hazers, which are considered like what you would call a smoke machine. Those are also on our platform. And then for control, we use Chroma Q Vista, which is lighting software. It actually just runs off a computer, and there's a couple different interface options that we use depending on the venue to interface with the lights and control them via DMX. So that's most of our rigs. That's all the lighting that we use. For video, it really depends on the venue, but for the most part, our presentation software that we use is called ProPresenter. It's basically like a PowerPoint, but it's like PowerPoint software, but it was designed by churches for churches. So we use that presentation software in all of our venues, no matter how big or small they are. And then on top of that, it's being projected either on side screens or we also have video walls in some of our venues. So kind of like video walls like you would see at like a sports event or a sports arena or something like that. So we have several of those. And again, it just kind of depends on which venue you're looking at. And they're all scaled to different sizes, of course. There's a bunch of stuff that happens in between that. I mean, in our broadcast room, of course, we have cameras, several different models and different makes, a video switcher that the camera, all the signals process through. And then, of course, there's a lot of different stuff in between that maybe does something that converts it or moves it about. But in general, that's about what we have in most of our spaces and venues. Hope that kind of answers your question.
Yeah, that's good. What type of events? I know you've worked for the Bay Hope Church or worked with them for a long time. But what type of events, past or present, have you worked on and directed and operated?
Oh, sure. I mean, again, my main focus right now is going to be Bay Hope Church. They're my employer. And so there, obviously we got like weekend services, and then we do midweek services and different kids and youth services. We do rent out the facility too as well from time to time, and different groups will come through. Christian groups will come through. But, my whole AV career spans 22 years now. And I've done everything from Busch Gardens. I used to work at Busch Gardens and work in the AV department there. I've been on tour with a group called Spirit of the Dance Productions. I did a 4-month-long tour with them that was a national tour, and also went up into Canada as their main audio guy, or what you would call an A1. I've done several projects with Fast Breaks Executive. Everything from, seminars to weddings and pretty much everything in between. A lot of fundraising events for private schools and those types of things. Done many of those things with them. Just a lot of different things here and there. It's kind of how the industry works. A lot of guys and gals will just freelance and kind of pick up gigs here and there. So it's definitely an interesting world. But yeah,
it's awesome. What are your thoughts on this new type of people, like the planetarium? Mosey, the planetarium, has this new technology, which is kind of a 360-degree field of vision with laser tech, laser show in front of you, and it's almost all around you. Everywhere you look, you're surrounded by these projectors. What are your thoughts on that type of technology?
Sure. I mean, I'm a technology nerd, always have been. So I think anything's kind of cool. But I think there's a specific time and a place and a specific type of event that works in those spaces. You're describing something that's very much like the Sphere in Las Vegas, which is probably the biggest, most renowned one right now.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, they do. You do concerts in those kinds of spaces, which can be really cool, and maybe special movie screenings. But you're not doing like a wedding or something in those kind of venues. I think part of the cool thing about it is when you really break those kind of venues down, though, to each component or element and the actual equipment that's used. A lot of it's the same exact kind of thing that you would use in like a church or something like that. It's all just scalable. So like the Sphere as an example, their video wall is, a bajillion times bigger than the one that I have at the church that I work at. But it's the same exact technology. It's just scaled to a different level. But it is really cool to see what, somebody's creative mind comes up with in these venues, especially when you start combining the technology. You got the audio gear, and then you got the lighting gear, and then, like you said, you're adding lasers and fog and all this stuff, and it all combines to create, one experience. So, I think those kind of venues are cool. Again, just kind of right time, right place, and you got to have the right kind of event going into those spaces, I believe.
Yeah. For sure. Do audiences, do they seem more engaged with when you use a lot of this tech compared to like maybe if you didn't use it, like you just had a guy up there speaking, if you use tech and
right.
PowerPoints instead? Do audiences seem more engaged with that style of either teaching or having a type of show like that?
Oh, absolutely. So here's the cool thing with technology too. I think when you use it and when you use it properly, it basically disappears, and the viewer or the audience, they're definitely more engaged. Especially if it's like a PowerPoint presentation or something of that sort. They're interacting with that, or they're taking notes off of the PowerPoint presentation. So I think there's a lot of engagement there. But one thing I learned a long time ago, again, kind of going back to what I was originally saying, you add all this technology to these spaces, but it's just enhancing the actual product. And, like you said, if it's somebody that's up there just speaking, the actual product, the final product is going to be whatever they're talking about. But you're enhancing it with this technology. And if you do it right, from a tech standpoint, if you do it right and supplement everything exactly how it needs to be, it basically disappears into the background, and the user or the viewer or the audience kind of like forget it's there in a way. Subconsciously it's there.
Yeah.
But they become really engaged with whoever's speaking or whatever's happening on the stage. Same thing like if you go to a concert, the music's building up, it gets real high energy. When it's high energy, the lights are strobing and they're moving and there's lasers going and all that, and it's just enhancing that musical stage, if you will. So, yeah, I think it's way better than just having somebody on their fluorescent lights just standing in a stark white room.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.